What's up, y'all? It's TreyHits, and I'm stoked to welcome you guys to the first ever episode of our Plug and Play podcast. I'm here with a very special guest. They are a duo that blends rock, gospel, and indie elements to create their own signature sound, and this act is not only a personal favorite of mine, but they are also very, very dear friends. I want to give a huge welcome to Habang Buhay.
Habang Buhay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, welcome, Mario, Fran. How are we feeling today? First podcast episode.
We're feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
We've been here on set way longer than you said. Oh, well, actually, longer than I said.
Oh, disrespectful.
Yeah, it's actually my fault, but I don't know. I'm doing all right. How are you doing, Fran?
Genuinely pretty chill. I mean, it's a pilot episode. We're gonna be on set for a while. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's a huge inaugural thing. My stomach's growling. It's a huge inaugural thing for sure. I'm personally super stoked that you guys are the first act that I'm getting to interview. Obviously, we have lots of ties. This has been a huge journey. I know your music career has, I've been there since the beginning, not to flex or anything like that. But I know you, but our fans don't know you. So why don't you guys introduce yourselves? I don't know if you want to do together, one-on-one.
My name is Mario. I am one half of Habang Buhay. I do instruments and production, and I'm just happy to be here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm Bronrich, the other half of Habang Buhay. I do vocals mainly and songwriting. Also happy to be here. Yeah.
We do as Habang Buhay, we do kind of like indie music. We were inspired by rock influences, some gospel influences, R&B. We're kind of jack of all trades kind of thing. I don't even know what camera am I supposed to be looking at. That one? Okay. We do I don't know, we just making music. We don't really even like to think about the genre like that. We just make music, make art.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like your music has a very particular sound. Like even the elements that we listed, like gospel, rock, indie, like those are very like particular genres, and I feel like you often wouldn't think that there would be that much overlap in those. So like, I guess I just want to know for you guys, like, what kind of made you like how did that blend come about? Like, how did we kind of settle on that specific blend of music?
Good question.
All right. Yeah, no, I'll answer that. I think a lot of the sound just there's a lot of cultural context behind it. There's also artists that we've been inspired by. I know myself personally. One artist who I think is a really big influence in my music is Hozier. Ed Sheeran also goes hard. I like his songwriting style. Keshi as well. But a lot of it also has to do, at least for me, with like religious influences. So I grew up in the Catholic Church. I grew up around that type of music. And I guess that's the type of sound that I attached to my craftsmanship.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean, just kind of the story of like the Limbo EP is, I don't know. We originally were gonna try and do like, oh, I do a production and Fran does a production, and then we just kind of like make an EP that way, and that's kind of how we got like Ghost. Like that one's like a mainly Fran production on that. But I don't know. After a while, we were just kind of like, there needs to be like a cohesive sound to everything. So I asked Fran like, hey, do you have like any songs that you wanted to like sing or like get some beats under? And then he sang like Passport, and honestly I feel like that's where the rest of the EP kind of like snowballed from there. Like we had like Passport is very like religiously charged and queer charged, and that's kind of what spawned like the offset of the rest of the EP. And at least as far as like lyrical content, like that's kind of where we went. And then when it came to like the sound, like I grew up playing piano in like a church band, so I feel like it was fairly easy for me to tap into like those kind of like those kind of like influences for the rest of the EP. And what was the question again?
Yeah, just kind of how you guys like got to those, like that specific blend of like genres to influence your music?
Oh yeah, yeah. I all I know is like from Passport, just something with the way that those chord changes like ended up being like that really like I don't know, for me that really made it super like I don't know, it's really churchy, but I love like a good driving beat when it comes like to the sound itself. So whenever I don't know, I feel like the rest of the EP too just kind of hits on the like contemporary Christian like kind of sound, but like I don't know, even beyond all of that, like I don't know, I listen to a lot of like Infinity Song, Leon Thomas, like Coco Jones, like I don't know, I feel like I just have a lot of like R&B influence, even if it's not like the core of like the songs itself, if that makes sense, because I don't want to like be I don't want to state falsehoods and be like, yeah, this is R&B, like it's not necessarily just R&B
For sure.
but yeah, I don't know, it's hard to kind of like put a pin on like, oh, or not put it like identify specific
Like
pieces.
this comes from here.
Yeah,
This comes from here.
it's just kind of like, oh, this is kind of like all the stuff we're doing, and then it just kind of I don't know, whenever we're like in the room together, like then it just kind of like comes together and we don't even really like think about it like that.
Yeah, I think it's I think it's good that you guys don't overthink the process. I think you can definitely tell that your music and your sound is very like emotive. Like I think it definitely like in listening to obviously I've heard the EP, y'all. Y'all should check it out. Your music is definitely very emotive, and I think, it's nice to see kind of the progression with each of the songs. I think there's definitely a different vibe and a different emotion that's put out there. But I kind of want to turn to like more of the lyrical content. When it comes to like your guys' lyrics and your writing, do you both partake in writing, or does only one of you write? And then also when it comes to that writing, like what kind of inspires you to write what you write?
Yeah, yeah. I know. I saw Mario nod his head no, but there's a bit of no. Mario's done like a bit of writing for sure. But a lot of the lyrics on the EP, I wrote, and a lot of them just boil down to personal experience. I mean, I think most art is personal experience. And with this EP, like Mario had said, I produced Ghost initially. And then our original plan was to combine production styles, but then we agreed on like more cohesion ultimately. And that led to me writing a lot of religious themes, really, I guess, into the EP. And yeah, that's kind of where the lyrics stem from. Yeah.
Yeah, I think obviously the religious motifs come out, but something that I notice is like, it's a bit spooky. Like it gets a bit spooky. Like in the visuals for Passport, and then in like Ghost, obviously it's like Ghost. A lot of like ghost imagery. Like, do we feel like that's just religion? Or are there any like spooky like elements that you take from? Like I'm not gonna lie, I was a little. It gets a little scary around here. It does. It does.
Mythology, yes. I mean, you've watched both videos, but the Ghost music video pulled a lot from Greek mythology.
Okay.
Our main motif was like the river Styx, and that one evolved from like a prom plot, because the literal I guess the literal origin of that song had like a bad night at prom. But no,
care to give details?
Sure. Situationship. I mean, you know how it is, and then prom happens. I black out.
At prom?
At prom, yeah. I think someone spiked the punch.
At prom?
At prom, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no, there were not enough.
So someone is going to jail. Someone is going to
probably
jail.
or not, because they didn't care. Can we cuss?
Of course.
Okay, they didn't give a fuck. But like,
never mind.
No, I mean, I wrote it. I wrote it about that night. And then I realized like a lot of that occurrence is something that happens throughout time to many people, and so I wanted to tie it back to like
getting spiked punch at prom.
No. The like,
I'm like, I don't
having a sad.
So
prom.
I don't actually think
like.
Okay, no.
Yeah, I don't want a lot of people to experience getting spiked at prom.
Yes,
but,
yes.
You know, the experience of not having an event go how you planned it. Yeah, like wanting something to be a happy moment. This is supposed to be celebratory, but it just doesn't end up going that way. Yeah.
And then Mario, you were a little silent during this question. Tell us a bit about your writing. Like, what is some of the writing that you contributed to the EP, and kind of where do you get your influences from?
I actually don't think I wrote a whole lot like on that
Mhm.
EP. I maybe wrote like a couple like backing lines on there
Okay.
on like Passport. For the most part, like Fran is like the lead
Mhm.
songwriter, and anything I kind of like add on to that, like it's just kind of like, kind of just like adding to like whatever Fran wrote. Like I think the only like unique thing that I actually contributed in terms of like songwriting was like this one section on Passport where, um it's like towards like the back half of the section, and most of the words, the back half, like on that last hook, where most of the words are actually Fran, but like, in like the backing harmonies that are kind of like happening like right there, like I'm trying to do like a kind of just like a alternative like version of like the of the lyrics, in that like, you know, like Fran is talking about like heaven, Peter don't know my name. Hold on, I just
Do
need
you
to
want to
like
give
say
us a
it,
demonstration of the part?
because I'm like, I need to like think it out. Like heaven, Peter don't know my name. I'm not on the guest list.
Yeah, do it. Do it. Do it.
Okay.
No, do it.
All right. I mean, okay.
Just so y'all know where to find it in the
Peter
song
don't
that you will
know
eventually listen to.
my name, not on a guest list, not on a
This sounds
count
awful,
of
'cause I'm not-
count of
Babe.
fame. We'll perform this later, but like, yeah, it's like there's a callback thing going on.
Okay.
There's like it's like a call and response thing,
Okay.
and like where Fran is very much like focused on like his part is very much focused on like the kind of experience with God, and I feel like my kind of take on that was to make it more like personal. Like there's like a line where it's like a count on fame, but then I change it very slightly, like I'll count on fame, to be like, um, just to be like, oh, like yeah, that's a selfish thing to do, and maybe this is kind of like an act of rebellion in the sense that, like, you know, like I'm not gonna make it in, but you know what, I'm gonna try it anyways. And I don't know, maybe that's just like a not a huge like point like in that song itself, but I think what Fran was alluding to earlier when he was saying like, oh, if Mario actually wrote some stuff, is that we actually have like an unreleased like demo that I
Oh.
wrote.
Oh, I wasn't even alluding to that, but yeah, go. You
Because
can
I'm
talk
like,
about it,
what song did I don't think I wrote anything on that EP.
You
Oh, y'all, it's
you
tension.
helped
We're about
come
to
up
see
with a
Habang
lot of the
Buhay break up
rhyme
right now.
scheme.
I'm just kidding.
Not a lot, but like there were some parts where like you had lyrics that you wanted to do, and we'd specifics. I actually don't remember. It's kind of a blur, but I remember you contributing. I like Mario also contributed to songwriting. So
I
there's
think
that.
we all right.
Did you
I
want to
think
talk?
we all right.
Yeah, we all right.
I think we all right.
Did you want to talk about the unreleased?
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll keep it low key for now. Low genuinely.
Low Kenuin.
Okay.
I mean, we don't have to be low Kenuin. If y'all want to give them a demonstration, I mean.
Good.
We'll wait. But I do want to ask, like, obviously, just seeing this little interaction between you two, and I know you guys, but like, how long have y'all known each other, and how long have y'all been working together, like, as Habang Buhay?
Was it like 2018, 2019?
Yeah, it's been a minute. So we met in college freshman year. Actually, was it during orientation? Was it like after
I
that?
think it was out. I don't remember seeing you at orientation. Like,
Right. There was a group chat.
Jester group chat.
Jester group chat. Right. And
Shout out to Jester.
Yeah, I guess
Jeest.
both of us were looking for people that were producing music, and then we started from there.
I
And
guarantee it was like at least like a couple months between like when we started sending those messages, and by the time we actually like got together. Because I remember we recorded like Lot of Love like 2019, like in the spring, but I don't feel like we messaged maybe even before that. But yeah, so 2019, 2018, that's when we kind of like started making like music as just like, oh, collab Kuya X Ping type thing.
Mm-hmm. And so this has like been, you mentioned Kuya X Ping, so this has been like a long time thing for you guys, but I guess what was the point that made you guys go from wanting to work individually to deciding like, hey, let's like put this down on paper, pen to paper, like let's make an official duo? Like, what was kind of that turning point for you, and what was kind of behind that decision making?
I have one answer. Do you have another? I have one like LMF.
go ahead.
Okay, so for me, like I think logistically, like I'm a very like we've done a lot of collaborations over the years since like 2019 all the way through like 22, like just going through college, going through life type thing,
Type shit.
type shit. And I think we started floating like the idea of like an EP, and that's kind of where we like, oh, he'll produce a thing, I'll produce something. But I think really like Fran started talking about like the LMF grant that Austin was starting back in 2023.
Okay.
And I think we wanted to really just like make art together, and for that logistically to work, we had to like do it together just because of like grant requirements and stuff like that.
And what is this grant?
Austin Life Music Fund.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just like a grant from the city to like
to
do live music.
Yes, it is. Okay. It was the first year that they were doing it, and we are very thankful that they did it. Especially, I mean, Fran was the lead applicant on that, so I don't want to speak too much on that. But okay. I feel like logistically, that's where I feel like it is. I know it kind of felt like a natural progression, but I want to let Fran speak on that.
Yeah, no, so I agree logistically. It was definitely LMF, which, by the way, technical, has moved into the Acme family of grants. So those are just like several grants that the city offers for people who do art. If that's something you're interested in, just look on Austin's website. But I think the like tenable moment where I realized we could do something collaboratively was when we were working on Ghost at your old place with Pixie. Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
Yeah. But I think that moment was...
Yeah, because that was when Pixie like started writing, because she had like her own like lyrics and stuff like that, or her poems, and then I think y'all worked together to like really like flesh it out into like lyrics to sing.
Yeah, exactly. But then like you took the production I had, you spruced it up a lot, and then yeah, I just started seeing things come together, and I think from that point on, at least for me personally, I wanted to focus on creating more collaborative art. I was doing it individually for so long, and then like occasionally working with Mario, but I think that was the point.
Yeah, and you mentioned Pixie. I believe Pixie. She also goes by Mayuri
Sienna. Yes,
she
the one and only.
was featured actually on Ghost. So how did that collaboration come about in the midst of an already like brewing collaboration between you two? How did that kind of?
It actually came about because of that meeting I was mentioning.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this exact meeting.
This was essentially an attempt to turn her poetry into something that could be part of this song.
Okay.
So she had a poem that fit the motif for the song.
Okay.
And we were basically like,
hey, this could fit.
It's really good. Let's make it fit.
Okay.
And so I helped her take her lines and then just change a few things here and there about the rhyme scheme so that it would fit into the song. And that's how you get Pixie's verse.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like because in listening to it, I think that like it genuinely does fit so well into it. So are you saying that there was a version of Ghost that existed before that didn't have a feature on it?
Yes, there was a version where I do like a little triplet swing pattern. I was trying to allude back to waltzes. So a lot of the sound in Ghost, I took inspiration from like older musical cultures in both like Western and Eastern traditions. But yeah, there was like a little waltzy part.
Do you have like do you remember how that missing verse went? Like, can you? I keep trying to get y'all to sing. We will sing today. We will sing today. Do you know how it went? Can you do it for us?
I have the lyrics somewhere.
No, pull them up. Pull them up. We'll give them time to pull it up.
All right. I'll see if I can.
Danye, this lady, why y'all ain't pull up?
But
I'm sorry.
Oh, it was like
that was reference to something.
It's plain to see you're everything. But here you are. It's been a long time, but
I feel like I'm getting the vibe though.
Yeah,
it's very bouncy, like.
Yeah, and then it talks about the putting someone on a pedestal and how that tore us apart and all that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, that's so interesting that like. I think overall in hearing your guys' music experience, like your music kind of changes and it morphs and it becomes something very, very different with each kind of iteration and each person you bring on. And I think, I don't know, like it seems like you're definitely very dedicated to like bringing community and making community a part of, you know, your musical experience, and the music that you make. Now, in saying that, when it comes to actually writing, do members of the community or, you know, people who you deal with just in your everyday life ever influence like the songs that you write? Like friends, lovers,
I guess for me,
other
yeah.
creatives,
Yeah.
like
Um, I think like both directly and indirectly.
mhm,
Obviously, there's people who just influence like the sound.
mhm,
Like I referenced Hosier earlier, but then there's also people who I will like allude to in the songs. Um, but I don't allude to them directly. Like I'm not gonna call anyone out directly.
yeah,
It's more of like a dog whistle thing.
mhm,
Um, a lot of the times I like writing lyrics with double meaning. So unless you know like or understand the context,
mhm,
it can be interpreted like completely differently
mhm.
based on how much you know. So that's kind of where I go with that. Do you have anything, Mario? Are you right in general?
I'm not gonna lie, I got distracted when you said dog whistle.
Oh.
But I feel like in the song, like I've been trying to learn songwriting and like really hone in on that craft
Mhm.
recently. I feel like I've been trying to like write songs that tell stories that aren't mine, but I feel like the ones that hit the most are the ones that like I've been involved with either very directly, like the breakup, or
Mhm.
like a breakup, or just like like in a relationship myself, or um where I'll or indirectly where I'll hear kind of like the secondhand
Yeah.
experience of somebody else, and I'll write about how that makes me feel.
Mhm.
So I it's hard to like, I know there are amazing like songwriters out there who can like turn anybody's story into like a song, and they're able to write from like their own voice, but I don't feel like that's a strength that I don't think that's a skill that I feel particularly strong in, at least yet.
Mhm. Well, I personally disagree. I've heard your songwriting. I think it's very I think you have a way with words that I think is very specific to you, and I think it's still like you can write a mean catchy hook. But I brought that question up because I think it's such a breath of fresh air to hear you guys kind of talk about your creative process, because as we know, art is under attack. AI is attacking art every day. We're losing more and more people to fake AI artists on Spotify. I think there was that Sienna May recently. I think that was her name. People found out she was like AI. What's kind of like your opinion, your take on AI art, and how do you feel it's gonna like change the industry in these upcoming years?
Sure. I so I have a lot of opinions about AI. I feel
Oh,
like I could talk about this for hours, but
well, we don't have hours.
we don't have
so
hours.
Wrap it
We
up.
got
No, I'm
minutes.
just
Yeah,
kidding.
no. To put it shortly,
Mhm.
so for my full time job, because music does not pay the bills, unfortunately. I am a software
Yet.
engineer, and one
Mhm.
of the things, the primary differences between the world of engineering and the world of art, I think, is like open source culture.
Mhm.
So open source, for those who don't know, is basically programmers just like making free shit all the time for other people to use. And I think intellectual property isn't a concept that's valued as much. So whenever people in tech invented like large language models, and they've been scraping data like for a while now. The ethical implications of stealing intellectual property didn't make any sense to them, because like in the tech community, it's kind of assumed you're going to be borrowing other people's work, because a lot of that is built on like the shoulders of giants. So I think there's a disconnect between the way tech people perceive that advancement and the way that art people perceive that advancement. As someone in both fields, yeah, no, I think the reason that AI is a threat to not only artists but like people in general is its ability to displace jobs. Um, because all art, I believe there's no such thing as original art, and all art is derivative, and that art is essentially exploring the latent space of possibility in what could be, right? And as a human, like you hone your skills so that you can actually get to that spot where you want your art to be. But with an AI, they've taken all of the skills that we've learned as a collective humanity, and they used to do them worse than us, but now they're getting really close to doing a little better. But yeah, go ahead, Mario. You have
A couple days ago, Fran actually like asked me like, how do you feel about like AI kind of replacing the job of like producers? And honestly, it made me feel very sucky to think about that, because it is kind of true. Like in what Fran is saying, it's like, I don't know, producing, it is a craft, but it's not necessarily, it's one that AI hypothetically can like can do. Like can take sounds, it can take input from like prompts and stuff like that and output whatever somebody is kind of imagining for. But I don't know, it's just, it's kind of sucks to imagine like the fact that like we can pour so much like love and energy into a craft and like really like try and hone in on the skills and really try and make something that feels like true to ourselves, but like just get ultimately like replaced. And like even if I'm not like making like a huge living off of it, like it does kind of, I don't know, the very concept of like, you know, the half of the shit that we see on social media nowadays is like either brain rot, AI generated, AI slop. It's kind of, it's the point.
I've fallen victim.
Everybody has, like, it's to the point where people don't like actually either don't like, are very distrustful of like what we see on our feeds, very distrustful of like the process of what we see on there, or it's just kind of like mindless consumption to the point like we're not actually like understanding or like comprehending or like really like taking in like what we're like really trying to say, like through or like what we're like making. And I would argue as far as to say like it's kind of the same with like Spotify, like investing so much into AI and like being so much like AI music being like uploaded there. So like the point of like making recorded music, like producing like a one record and pouring so much time into the record just kind of makes it feel like it makes it feel like it's a waste. And I obviously don't want to like let go of that, but it does kind of, I don't know, I feel like it does implicate like, it does push artists more into the space where like, oh, we have to like actually perform live in front of people and actually prove that like, oh, we can actually like play like the music that we're playing. We can actually sing or like play whatever instrument or like dance or whatever. Like it's not just like something that we can fake through what we're just fake through the computer. And I don't know, it does kind of suck to see like how that kind of like affects the craft that you know we really try and like do, but unfortunately it's kind of like where
and I feel like it definitely seems like it puts you in such a like tough position, because I feel like with how quickly AI pushes things out, it almost feels like, at least in my mind, it seems like something that could almost make an artist or a producer feel like they have to like increase their output so much, like to
just
meet
to
kind of the
compete.
volume, just to compete and meet the volume that like an AI like generator is able to like push out. Like you can't like, I get why it would feel like a waste of time, but something feels like, I don't know, there's something in the process of like producing like that feels like, you know, I think music is a labor of love, and like being, you know, like there's just a level of like connection that like artists have with their music that I feel like an AI can't recreate. And it's just, I think definitely to reiterate, it's probably just pushing it more to the live event space. And like with that, do you feel like is it something that's kind of giving you guys that fuel to like connect more in person with people through your music?
I think for me personally, yeah. But like you said, there's still music is a labor of love, art is a labor of love, but capitalism doesn't care about love.
Exactly.
So
neither does an audience.
Let's be
honest.
I mean,
let's be honest. Well, some audiences don't.
Yeah,
some audiences do.
Basically, like AI wouldn't be a threat if capitalism didn't work the way it did, because we'd still be able to make human art and people would be valuing it. But companies just want slop right now, so they can, you know, maximize shareholder value.
Very real.
Yeah.
And that'll be us one day, maximizing shareholder. I'm joking. That won't
Hell
be
no,
me.
bro.
We will never lose our integrity, I'm sure. No, I think it seems like you guys are very, very passionate about it. And I know that you guys are both, I believe, in tech fields. So this is probably something you've seen definitely like impact your jobs both in the tech field, but also with art. And I don't know. It seems like you guys are very insightful about these things, and I'm interested to see how moving forward, like even this conversation kind of folds into your artistry, and the realizations you guys are having about AI, how they kind of play with everything. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a little scared, guys. I'm a little spooked out. Like, the videos are already scary, but the AI is even scarier. But it looks like we are reaching kind of the end of our time here today. So I just wanted to open up the floor for you guys. Any final thoughts? Any final comments you want to either leave with myself or with the audience, who will soon be watching this?
Shout out Adam. Shout out Manasi. Shout out Sam. Really, really burgeoning through the process with us. This is not possible without y'all. Thank you, Trey, for putting all this together. Thank you, Fran, for coming out. Thank you all for listening. We got stuff coming out soon. We'll let y'all know, though. Depending on when this podcast does come out, we do have a show kind of coming up on the 27th of Friday, the 27th here in Austin, over at Balm Arts. Shout out Asian Season. Come see us. Come out, see all the visual artists. Really excited to see y'all.
Yeah, and I mean, Mario shouted everyone out, but yeah, thank you to all of y'all. Thank you to the audience for supporting Trey. He's doing big things. He's making big moves with Fortune Collective, with Plug&Play, and yeah, no, I wish him and the team the best of luck. And yeah, go listen to our concert if you can. Thank you.
No, and we definitely wish you guys the best of luck as well. And thank you for the thanks. I love to be recognized for literally any and everything. So make sure in the comments you guys leave something about me and what you like about me as a host and as a person. But no, I definitely want to extend a huge thanks to you guys for coming. Like I said, it actually means so much that you guys are the first artist that I'm getting to work with on this podcast. Like, I know it's been a lot. The process has been a lot for you guys, and it's so nice getting to be kind of there every step of the way and kind of see your journey unfold. And I'm looking forward to see what else unfolds. That's all for us today. This has been a blast. Make sure you guys keep an eye out for what we have in store for you next time. That's all from me, and goodbye.
Thanks, Trey.
See y'all later. Bye.